Yo, what's up YouTube, J17 here, back with another video, a different video. I know this is supposed to be like, tutorials and like magic related stuff and all that good stuff. But I wanted to change it up. It's still, card related, just not playing cards and teaching you that kind of stuff. This is an unboxing of a Magic the Gathering set that came out not too long ago. It's just been sitting here and I've been meaning to open it, so I thought why not do it on camera and share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm gonna get some of my stuff out of the way so I can do the unboxing. Now the Magic set that I'm unboxing is Bloomburrow. If I can hold it up into the camera. And yeah, like I said, it's just been sitting here. I did kind of peel it open to get started. I did it earlier, but I haven't actually pulled it out of the box yet. Excuse me. So let's go ahead, pull it out. We got a little thing here. Let's see here. We got a nice little cool artwork there. So that's pretty cool. And I'm used to the box thing that usually is under here, but apparently they got rid of those. This is a really cool box, by the way. Like, I like that. You hear the dice or die rolling around. We'll just put that aside. Oh, look at that. This is honestly a really cool dice. I don't have one, like I don't have like a really cool green one like this, so that's really cool. Take this thing out. We got a cool looking animal right there. And it looks like some counters and stuff. And oh, look at that. That's a cool little picture as well. Put that aside. So now we're going to get into the card unboxing. And it looks like they kind of mixed up these, so we're going to do these white ones first. Like the basic no art cards first. I don't have a trash thing anymore. Actually, yes I do. What am I talking about? Alright, let's see here. Ooh. Got some really cool artwork on some planes. Islands, which are actually my favorite. Swamps, I'm not going to be like going through them individually. These are just like cool, full art lands. Those are the forests, and that's a how to play type beat. These are probably the foil lands. Put that away. Thundering Trader and Otter Wizard. So, try to get the glare off. So it looks like at the top where you may reveal 9 creatures on a card from among them, put it into your hand. Oh, nice. Okay. That's really cool. And then, yeah, it's just a bunch of foil basic lands, which I assumed. Because that's usually what's in the non-artworked wrapping ones. Put those aside. Now we'll go into the next packet. And I'm not worried about opening it all nice and everything. Just trying to open it. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each frog you control. Okay, that's pretty cool. Run away together. And you can return 2 creatures controlled by two different characters, players, if I can talk. And you return those to the hands. Thistledown players a mouse bard. Whenever attacks untap target non-land permanent. I'm sure that could be really good. Rugsod Duo, Mouse Raccoon. It's got Expend 4. It gets Trample and +1/+1 until the end of the turn. Early Winter. Choose one, exile target creature, or target opponent exiles an enchantment they control. So that's really cool. We're gonna put that aside for Cash Grab. Mill 4 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them milled this way into your hand. If you control a squirrel, or return a squirrel to your hand this way, create a food token. So this is where if you mill yourself, that's pretty cool. Seapod Squires, a flying bird, 3/3. Whenever it attacks, target creature you control without flying gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Wix Patrol, a rat warlock. When it enters, mill 3 cards. When you do, target creature and opponent control gets -X until end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among cards among your graveyard. I don't know how that would be really like taken advantage of, I guess is the word. Gift a card. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast this card. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. Okay. And return target permanent card from your hand to your graveyard. If the gift was promised, instead return 2 target permanents from your graveyard to your hand. So that's pretty cool. I'd say that's kind of a cool trade-off. It's a pretty cool trade-off. Got another Otter Wizard, the Daring Wave Rider. When it enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant sorcery card, mana value 4 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it. And that's a 6 mana. So that's kind of steep. This has Expend 4, it's a Raccoon, Berserker, Bark Knuckle, Boxer. And if you expend 4, it gains indestructible until end of turn. And then this is the rare. It's a Squirrel Warlock. Osteomancer Adept, Death Touch. So pretty cool. Until you tap it until end of turn, you may cast creature spells from your graveyard by foraging, in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell this way, the creature enters with a finality counter on it. To forage, exile 3 cards from your graveyard to sacrifice a food, and if with the finality counter, it would be exiled instead if it died. So that's pretty cool. Foil Mountain. Feathers of Flight. It's an enchantment aura. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. A quick creature gets +1/+0 and it has flying. That's actually pretty cool. And then have a possum token. So let's go ahead and open the next pack. And I apologize if there's a little bit, if it got a little bit too loud there. I do not know what's going on with my mic. Okay. Alright. Treestop Centuries, a Squirrel Archer. When it enters the battlefield, barrage, if you do enter, you draw a card. Okay. Drive Downdraft. The spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets an attacking or tapped creature. Target creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Pretty cool, I guess. Got an artifact food, a carrot cake. That's interesting. When it enters the battlefield and when you sacrifice it, create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token and scry 1. and you can sacrifice it and gain 3 life in addition to that. War Squeak, enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When War Squeak enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and it has haste, so that'd be pretty cool. Dire Sight, surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. This kind of reminds me of Read the Bones, if you guys know what that's about. But it's surveilling instead of scrying, which can be pretty useful. Cindering Cutthroat, Lizard Assassin. It enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it if an opponent lost life this turn. So you'd have to like attack them and hope you deal damage or deal damage with them some other way. And you can pay 2 mana. Cindering Cutthroat gains menace until end of turn. It's actually a pretty cool card. We got Seapod Squire again. I already read that one. Wear Down. You gift a card, destroy target artifact or enchantment if the gift is promised. Instead, destroy 2 targets, artifacts, or enchantment. That's really good trade-off, I'd say. Coruscation Mage. Otter Wizard Offspring 2, and if you pay an additional 2, create a 1/1 token copy of it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent, so that's kind of cool. Curious Forager. When it enters the battlefield, you forage. When you do, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a Squirrel Druid. Feather of Flight, which I read before. Fountain Port, which has 3 modes in addition to just tapping for colorless mana. So that's pretty cool. Full Art Forest. Conduct Electricity. It deals 6 damage to target creature and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature token. Okay. Set that aside. Then we got one of these artwork things. Alright, so we got Rush Shield Rampager, Offspring 2, which we should know by now. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Pretty cool. The Dire Downdraft again. Sonar Strike deals 4 damage to target attacking, blocking, or tapped creature. You gain 3 life if you control a bat. So this is pretty much only good if you control bats. War Squeak again, which I read already. Dire Sight again. It's that surveilling 2/1. 3-tree Root Weaver, Mole Druid. Add 1 mana of any color to your. Sorry, it just says add 1 mana of any color. It's a 1/3 for 2 mana, so that's actually pretty cool. Barkform Harvester, it's a shapeshifter artifact creature. It's a changeling. It's every creature type is what that means. It has reach 2/3. And then you pay 2 mana. Put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. So actually over there. Bone Cache Overseer, Squirrel Warlock. You tap it, pay 1 life, draw a card. Activate only if 3 or more cards left in your graveyard this turn, or if you sacrifice a food this turn. And that's the artwork. It's really cool artwork. Brazen Collector, it's a raccoon rogue. First strike, and whenever it attacks, add red to your mana. Till end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So that's real, and it's only 2 mana. Driftgloom Coyote. It's an elemental coyote for 5 mana. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent control until it leaves the battlefield. If that creature had power 2 or less, put a +1/+1 counter on Driftgloom Coyote. Alright. And just almost forgot to show the artwork. Mendwhisker, the Rat Wizard. 3 mana, 3/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. That is really cool. Although it'd probably be a pretty big target. And it has Threshold. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, creatures your opponent control gets -1, -0. Fecund Greenshell is an elemental turtle. It has reach. As long as you control 10 or more lands, creatures you control get +2/+2. Whenever it or another creature you control with toughness greater than its power enters, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped, otherwise put it into your hand. So that's probably going to be a really good, I would say, like commander card or something like that. Full Art Forest Foil. Uncharted Haven. When it enters the battlefield tapped. Sorry, it just says enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. The foil, I like that. Then we have a Ret Rogue 1/1 token creature. And it actually does say token creature. My brain got all confused there for a second. Alright, I think we're almost done. Intrepid Rabbit. It's got Offspring 1, which we already know about the Offspring. At least we should. And when this creature enters, it's so weird that they are shorthanding things nowadays, because I'm used to entering the battlefield, and it just says when it enters. So that's kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. When it enters, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. At least they keep the until end of turn. Frilled Sparks Shooter. I lost the P in there somewhere. It's got Menace and Reach, and it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if an opponent lost life this turn. So you want to be in an aggressive deck or just like something like that. Bumbleflower Sharepot. It's an artifact. When it enters, create a food token. Pay 5, tap it, sacrifice it. Destroy target non-land permanent. Activate only as a sorcery. If you can get to that point, that's pretty powerful, I'd say. Thornplate Intimidator. It's a Rat Rogue, Offspring 3. When this creature enters, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. This seems rather mean. Baker's Bane Duo. Squirrel Raccoon. And there's a squirrel and a raccoon. And when it enters, create a food token. Whenever you expend 4, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Pretty cool. Moonrise Cleric. Bat Cleric. Flying. Whenever it attacks, you gain 1 life. It's only 3 mana. Yeah, it's a 2/3, but it seems pretty good, I would say. Junkblade Bruiser. It's a raccoon berserker. Whenever you expend 4, it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. So it's another aggressive card. Wildfire Howl. It's a sorcery. You gift a card, and it deals 2 damage to each creature. The gift was promised. It then deals 1 damage to any target and 2 damage to each creature. That's kind of crazy. Stalker Warlock. It's a lizard warlock menace. When it enters, choose target opponent. If they lost life this turn, they reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, and they discard that card. Otherwise, they discard a card. 3 mana. It's a 2/2. That seems pretty good. Starseer Mentor. Bat Warlock Flying Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Really cool. Stargaze. So sorcerer, look at twice X cards from the top of your library. Put X cards from among them into your hand and the rest of your graveyard. You lose X life. So this is in a kind of sacrificey type thing. I assume there'd be ways to gain life and then get that taken away. Pretty crazy. Azure Beastbinder. Rat Rogue. Vigilance. Vigilance is always cool, especially in a blue card. Have I been showing these cards? I don't even know if I've shown some of these last ones. I apologize. I just kind of got distracted by reading them. But yeah, this is the Azure Beastbinder. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater. It's a 1/3, so that's kind of cool. Whenever it attacks, up to 1 target artifact, creature, planeswalker, and opponent control loses all abilities until your next turn. So it's not until when the opponent goes, it's until when you go again. If it's a creature, it also has base power and toughness 2/2 until your next turn. Floor Plains. Stoking the Pantry. An Ascend enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, put a supply counter on stock in the pantry. You pay 2, remove a supply counter from it, and you draw a card. It's a foil. It's only 1 mana for that amount of like possible card draw, and a food token. So if you can't tell, I'm putting them in 2 different piles. Ones that I kind of like really like, and the other ones that are cool, but like I don't know if I'll find a use for them. Shore Up. The blue card for 1 mana. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. So that's a way to protect your creatures. Warren Elder. So Rabbit Cleric. Creatures you pay 4 mana, and creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That seems like a lot of mana. Saza Cap's Brew. It's an instant. And gift a tapped fish. Okay. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card. Target player. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. But if you guys see any benefit to it, or like upside besides giving your opponent a tapped fish, a 1/1 blue fish creature token before other effects, and they also draw 2 cards. Like, I'm trying to comprehend that. Head of the Homestead. Rabbit creature, when it enters, create 2 1/1 white rabbit creature tokens. So that seems like a pretty good one. It's 5 mana. I'm sure it'll be good. Nocturnal Hunger. Gift of food. Destroy target creature. The gift wasn't promised you lose 2 life. Okay, I guess. Druid of the Spade. Rabbit Druid. As long as you control a token, it gets +2/+0, and it has trample. It's a 2/3. Flame Cash Gecko. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, add a black and a red. And you pay 2 mana, discard a card, draw a card. Tidecaller Mentor. Rat Wizard. It has Menace, and Threshold. When it enters, the 7 or more cards that are in your graveyard return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Kind of cool there. Starforged Sword, 4 mana. It's an artifact. Did I show this one? I can't remember, but there it is. You gift a fish again. Tapped fish. That is important to know. When it enters, if the gift was promised, attach Starforged Sword to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and loses flying. I mean, that doesn't seem like a super downside, especially if you're not playing with flying creatures, which I don't know if a lot of people actually play with flying creatures. Persistent Marstalker. Rare Berserker gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control, so this is really good in a rat deck. Threshold. Whenever you attack with 1 or more rats, if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, you may pay 3 mana. If you do, return Persistent Marstalker from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So that's a really good one for a rat deck. We got a Mousefard, Whiskervale, Forerunner. It's got Valiant. Whenever Whiskervale Forerunner becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's your turn. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's 4 mana. It seems good. You just need a lot of 3 or what is it? Yeah, 3 or 5 mana value 3 or less, if I can talk. To get creatures out there. Another 4 planes. The foil is Raccoon Rallier, and it's a 2/2 Raccoon Bard. When you tap it, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So it itself doesn't have haste, but it can give other creatures haste. I got Uncharted Haven again, only this time it's not. I think the last one was foil. And we got another artwork thing. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while. It's just been sitting here in my room, and I've been meaning to do an unboxing. I just haven't figured out where, how, or what. I just thought I would just throw this out here. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, we can probably do more unboxings or Magic the Gathering related stuff on here. Maybe do Disney Lorcana as well. Kind of expand, but still be niche. And excuse me. At the same time, because I will still be teaching Magic tutorials on this channel. And if you guys don't like that there's other videos besides just tutorials on this channel, I'll probably transfer this over to a different channel. But we got Sky Skipper Duel. Bird, Frog, Flying, 3/3. When it enters, exile up to 1 other creature you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This might do good in the Soul Hoarder Flicker Wisp deck. I don't want to be called out and be like, people saying stuff and like stuff like that, but I don't know. It could be. I feel like it could be. It's 5 mana, so probably not. But we got Life Creed Duo. It's a flying 1/2 Batbird. Flying, and I already said flying. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Take out the trash. Instant. It deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you control a raccoon, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Ravine Rider, Lizard Rogue, Menace. You pay 2 mana and it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. It's a 1 mana? Longstalk Brawl. And you gift a tap fish. It's a 1 mana sorcery green. Choose target creature you control. A target creature you don't control. Put +1/+1 counter on the creature you control as a gift to its promise. Then those creatures fight each other. Finch Formation. It's a bird scout. Offspring 3 flying. When it enters target creature you control, gains flying until the end of turn. It's 3 mana. It's a bird scout. Come on now. Mind Drill Assailant. It's a rat warlock. Threshold. As long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, it gets +3/+0. You pay 3 mana, surveil 1. 4 mana. So I just realized I don't know if I showed the Bird Scout. There it is. Both of those. I feel like I'm doing really bad at showing Nettle Guard. Valiant, whenever it becomes a target of spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. You pay 1, sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's a 3/1. Hivespine Wolverine. Elemental Wolverine. And there's the artwork before I forget. And when it enters, choose 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It fights target creature token, or it destroys target artifact or enchantment. I feel like that last one's going to be more often than not the choice. But I'm sure there's lots of others. Oh, this is a big boy. This is a Husk Burster Swarm, 8 mana. But it's costs 1 less to cast for each creature card you control in exile and in your graveyard, and it has Menace and Death Touch. So this could be oh man. This could be good in the dredge deck. And I hope nothing happens with it, but we'll see. Target instant, it's a Rabid Gnaw. Did I show this one? I don't remember. I think I did. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Keen-Eyed Curator. Raccoon Scout. As long as there are 4 or more card types among cards exiled with it, it gets +4/+4, and it has trample. And you pay 1, exile target card from the graveyard. It is 2 green. Full Art Mountain. A gate. Blade Assassin. Lizard Assassin. Whenever it attacks, defending player loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. It's a foil. Flowerfoot Swordsman. Mouse Soldier 1/1 token creature. So that's pretty cool. Alright, we got 3 more left. Then this will be the end of the video. Then it'll be the end of the video after that. We got Sky Skipper Duo again, which we read previously, so I'm not going to read it again. Got Warren Elder, which I believe was also read earlier. The opponent drawing 2 cards Brood thing that I didn't quite get. Nocturnal Hunger again. Druid of the Spade. I don't remember if we did this one. If you control a token, it gets, or as long as you do, it gets +2/+0 and it has trample. Shore up with giving hexproof for the turn. Corpseberry Cultivator. Squirrel Warlock. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may forage. And whenever you do, put a +1/+1 counter on the Cultivator. 3 mana. Savor. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and you create a food token. Quick Tusk Boar, Elemental Boar, Reach, Trample, Haste is a 5/5. We got Curious Forager, which I believe we did previously. Rabid Gnaw. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Oh yeah, I felt like we just read this. Camellia, the Seed Miser. Squirrel Warlock. Menace. Other squirrels you control have menace. Oh, that's crazy. Whenever you sacrifice one of Faraj, put a +1/+1 counter on each other squirrel you control. That's the artwork. Fuller Mountain. The Bark Form Harvester that we talked about before, but it's a foil this time. And then we got a treasure token. Bonebind Orator, Squirrel Warlock Bard. And you could pay for exile it from your graveyard. Return another target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So that's a pretty cool one if you're doing, graveyard shenanigans. Tree Guard Duo. When it enters until end of turn, target creature you control gains vigilance and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. It's a frog and a rabbit. Look at that. That's awesome. Pearl of Wisdom. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control an otter. Draw 2 cards. That's pretty cool. Rabbit Response. That's a good one. It's an instant. Creatures you control gifts. +2/+1 until end of turn. If you control a rabbit, scry 2. So scrying is always good. Steam Path Charger is a Lizard Warlock Offspring 2. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target player. So that's pretty cool. Scales of Shale, it costs 1 less for each lizard you control. And it's normally 3, so it potentially would just cost 1. Target creature gets +2/+0, gains lifelink, and indestructible until end of turn. It potentially could be only 1 mana. We have Savor again. Kind of glad we're getting repeating cards, so this can, yeah. Oh yeah, we got Cinderine Cutthroat, which we've read before. Blacksmith's Talent. It's a class, one of those class ones, which I am still like hazy on and not really sure how these work. I get that there's different levels, but that's all I'm sure of. When it enters, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword. With it, creature gets +1/+1, and equip cost is 2. Level 2. Oh, okay. I see now how it works. I only looked at the classes briefly, but you pay mana to level up. Okay. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control to up to 1 target creature you control. Okay. And then level 3, during your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. That's insane. It's only 1 mana to begin with. Like, yeah, you have to pay for the other 2 levels, but it still seems like a pretty Crazy card. Hazard Rule, Herbalist, Rabid Druid. Whenever you attack target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That creature is a token, also gains Death Touch until the end of turn. Lily Slash Mentor, Frog Druid. It has Reach. You pay 3 mana, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. And that is only... Yeah, I feel like that could be good. And then, yeah. Valley Flamecaller. If a lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control will deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals that much damage +1 instead. It's a lizard warlock. Then we got a full art forest. And then we have High Stride. It's an instant. Target creature gets +1/+30 and gains reach until end of turn, and you untap that creature. It's only 1 mana. And then we have Coruscation Mage, Otter Wizard, creature token. One more pack. Let's see what goodies we get. I don't think that there's any top cards in this. That could be. I'm almost spoiling it for myself by the way it accidentally opened. We got Bonehine, Orator, which we read previously. Some of these cards got bent in this last one. I don't get how. Polly Wallop. Oh yeah, we've talked about this one before as well. That's a cool name. Runaway Together, which is another one that we've done. Deleted Provisioner, which again is another kind of repeat card, I think. Roughshod Duo, we have talked about. I do remember that name. Nettle Guard, Mouse Soldier. Whenever it becomes a target, oh yeah, I do remember this one too, because you pay 1, sacrifice it, and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Barkform Harvester, it's that artifact creature. Storm Catch Mentor, Otter Wizard, Haste Prowess, and instant and sorcery spells you control cost 1 less to cast, and it's blue and a red to cast. Harvest Right Host, Rabbit Citizen. Whenever it or another rabbit you control enters, target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Then draw a card if this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn. It's a 3/3. Then we got Lupin Flower Village. You add colorless. You can add white, but only for creatures. And then you pay 2, tap it, sacrifice it. Because the top 6 cards of your library, you may reveal a bat, bird, mouse, or rabbit card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it's only good if you're playing one of those 4 creatures, but it still seems pretty cool. Even if you didn't do that mode. Seasoned Warren Guard, the 1 mana, 1/2. Whenever it attacks while you control a token, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Dream Dew Entrancer. It's a frog wizard with reach. It enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. If you control that creature, draw 2 cards. I don't know what stun counters are, but okay. We got a full art swamp. Got a hidden grotto. When it enters, surveil 1, so that's pretty cool. And you add a colorless, or you can tap 1 mana and tap it to add 1 mana of any color. And then we have a food artifact. So nothing crazy, nothing. Just wanted to double check that there was nothing in there. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting that went on here. I understand this is just the bundle. It's not like the what do you call it? Booster packs, booster boxes. But you know, it's what it was all I could afford at the time. Maybe you know I can try to get my hands on the booster box of this set and try to unbox it because I know there were a lot of cards that were reprinted for it, but in animal form. So that would be pretty cool to get those uh, copies of that. Put those in there. My cool green dice in there, and the very cool Bloomburrow box. But yeah, that's it for this episode. This video. Let me know, you know, in the comment section below if you guys did and didn't enjoy it, did or didn't enjoy it. Because I know this is supposed to be a magic teaching channel, and it still is going to be that. I promise you. I have plans to get a better camera so that I can do better angles and stuff because teaching the last two videos was tricky because of having to use my webcam on my laptop. Well, one of those videos I used my phone, but it was still tricky trying to angle it. But if I have a proper camera setup, I can teach better, and I can, you know, go more in depth on stuff because it's hard to do those kind of angles and stuff with this current setup that I have, which is better than the previous setup that I had, but it's still like one of those things that, like, if I'm going to teach these tutorials, I need a really good setup. And I promise you more videos, more tutorials, more stuff is going to be coming. I believe I mentioned that one of the videos that will be coming is the what would I take if I were to go out and perform magic. I'm still working on that, still working on getting some of the stuff that I would actually take out and perform with. One of them being the dollar bill from Greed by Daniel Garcia. I almost forgot the name. I still have to build that. And that is one of the things that I would actually take out and perform with to different crowds, different people, different areas, whatever. But that's just a small peek of what I would take, and I'll make sure to mention it in the actual video. But I'm working on getting that video set up and going, and just getting all the stuff necessary to make that video, if that makes sense. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this again. Let me know what you think of this. If it's something that you want to see on this channel more of, we can definitely, you know, in between the magic teaching stuff, we can do stuff like this. If not, if you guys just want this to be exclusively all, you know, about magic / illusions, we'll go that direction, and I'll pivot this idea to a different channel, because I have two other channels besides this one that I also upload on, and then I have a fourth one that's kind of in the making, that is meant for more multiplayer, like video games, and just multiplayer, or just like other stuff in general. And that's something that I could eventually put this on, is that channel. It's just a matter of getting that channel started. But I've done enough for rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. That like button would really help me, as would subscribing. My subscriber count has gone up, but you know, every subscriber, every like, every view, every comment is not only good for me, but it's like something that I love seeing go up. And if you comment, I will respond. I may not be able to respond as soon as you post it, because I do have work and other things that I'm doing, but as soon as I see that you've commented, I will respond. But again, make sure to do that, especially that like button, because it would help me tremendously. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, or remember to always live what you learn.